Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the brand new Farmers Bank Fieldhouse here in Lebanon, Indiana for the 7th annual Midwest Challenge. Our first game of the day, Team Illinois taking on Team Michigan. Rick Johnson, Brady Laurie here with you. Off and running comes Michigan. They're in the black, and cruising in for the layup there is Keyshawn Fisher.
Good to see you again, Rick. It's nice to be back in the booth with you. We don't have much time to talk. These guys are really busy basketball players currently.
Playing 20-minute halves here today. 3 catch-and-shoot off target there from Dante Montgomery. You're going to see a lot of top 100 guys that are going to college next year, all seniors. A lot of high-level basketball going to be played here today at the Fieldhouse. A save in there for Michigan's Parker LaPlay.
And Parker LaPlay is going to be a University of Indianapolis guy, so keep an eye on him. He's a really good rebounder, really likes to bang around on the boards, and a great finisher with either hand.
Today's game brought to you by SVI Sportswear. Create your own adventure. Find out more at SVISportswear.com. 2-0 lead for Michigan. Again, they're in the black. And a drive and kick. The man that just scored, the future Titan at Detroit Mercy. A little mid-range off the back of the rim for Keyshawn Fisher. And as LaPlay tried to save it, he stepped on the baseline, but Fisher can really go, and he's a guy that's coming back to the Michigan area after spending a prep year at Overtime Elite.
Right, he's going to be at Detroit. He posted, "I'm coming home," so I thought that was really a neat thing for him and his fans.
At Overtime Elite, if you watched any of the NBA playoffs, you saw the twins Amen and Asar Thompson.
Oh, boy.
And then a big dunk going upstairs for Illinois' Terrence Smith ties us at 2.
Well, folks, if you like athleticism, you are in the right place. There's plenty of it out here today.
And then a block on the other end, the aforementioned Smith rising all over the Fieldhouse here in Lebanon. And a foul is trying to dribble it up for Illinois was Elijah Lovemore.
And if you notice the 11th man out there, that is your PA announcer today, and he is a lot of fun. He's a big personality, and we've had a good time listening to him do the starting lineups and introducing the players earlier.
7th year for the Midwest Challenge. Team Indiana, who we'll see in our second game of the day, they are going for their 4th straight championship. Pass is tipped and knocked out of bounds. Trying to smother that one up was Damanye Smith-Poe.
And as good as this game's going to be, folks, do make sure you stick around for that second game. This Indiana team is loaded.
Smith-Poe from Detroit University Prep, undecided just yet where he'll be going to college, but a nice mid-range jump shot there from Aramis Brown. Brown 6'5", out of Dyett High School. He and Smith-Poe, a couple of a handful of guys that are undecided where they'll be going next year. As we mentioned, LaPlay on the block here. Nice pass into the paint and off the window, laying it in 4-2 is Damanye Smith-Poe.
That's the kind of stuff you like to see on an all-star team, guys playing together like that. It's a great pass, great cut, good finish.
Spun around the arc. 3 doesn't go. And there's LaPlay just eating every rebound up he can here in the early going. Here from Michigan as he slithers in and he goes wall to wall and gets 2 more.
He's such a big body. He's so wide and strong, but still yet so quick. He's got a great first step and handles the ball incredibly for a guy his size.
And 6-4 here in favor of Michigan after the play 2. Aramis Portis stops, pops, long 3 off the front rim. LaPlay gets another rebound. Pass into traffic. Little fall away from the mid-range. Swish. Nicely done by Armani Portis.
These last 2 plays are kind of evidence that it looks like this Michigan team has played together, or at least practiced together quite a bit, even though they all went to different schools.
A lefty fall-away 3 is good. Beautifully done by Josiah Harper, our first triple.
That's a nice-looking jumper. I love a kid that can shoot it left-handed. Looks like he's going to be heading to Georgia State. They'll love that.
About 5 minutes in here to the early going. Short shot miss. Another rebound for LaPlay. That's his 4th or 5th rebound here in the early going.
He came to LaPlay today.
An 11-4 lead here for Michigan. Again, they're in the black jerseys and shorts. Illinois in the blue. Get a look at the replay there on the triple try from Josiah Harper.
Just love a good-looking left-handed three-point shooter. Jalen Rose type.
So actually make it 8-7 in favor of Michigan. Again, playing 20-minute halves. Get these guys ready for the college game they'll be going to next year. Halfway down and out, criminally there, as Elijah Lovemore with a nice dribble pull-up. Smith Poe over to Portis. Puts on the deck, slithers in, trying to go up and under, and can't get the roll, but cleaned up nicely off the window by Niskian Yusin. 3-point lead for the Michiganders. Bluffing a three. Illinois wants to try a straightaway attempt. Nice wrap pass into the paint, but off the hands. And unable to gather that one in was Lovemore. Tough break there for the folks from the land of Lincoln.
Yeah, that was a good-looking pass across the lane right there. You can tell that these guys are really looking for one another.
3-ball good for Keyshawn Fisher. He gets his second field goal of the day, and it's an early lead, biggest one here of the afternoon, or the early morning for Michigan, up by 6. Trying to answer unsuccessfully there was Aramis Brown.
That looked a little more like all-star basketball to me. I'd like to see a little more cutting and passing from the Illinois squad.
You got to keep your head on swivel if you're sitting in the good seats there as
hey.
That pass lands right in the front row.
Yeah, it's a dangerous but prestigious area to sit.
First year of this tournament, or this Midwest Challenge, happened back in 2018, and the guy representing Team Wisconsin, who we'll see take on Indiana later today, there's a big block on the other end. Some guy named Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah,
you might have heard of him maybe a little bit.
He's become a favorite here in this state, hadn't he?
A little bit, particularly I think over the last week.
Yeah, I think we'll take ownership of him now. Thank you very much, Wisconsin.
So we'll see Wisconsin and Indiana coming up later today. But right here we have Illinois and Michigan. Our first free throws of the day, and going to the line for a pair will be Makai Nelson. He's from Proviso West High School, one of the better high schools in Illinois. They have put out a bevy of players over the last decade or so, and he is also undecided on where he's going. He is a 6-foot guard.
And he's a quick one, lightning quick.
Second one for Nelson, swish.
Good-looking shots. And that's another thing about these all-stars. They're all good free throw shooters. This is the best of the best that you're going to get from these states.
Smith Poe weaves, skips, and scoops. Another nice hoop for Demonier Smith Poe.
Great take right there. But yeah, these are the kids that have worked their tails off all through high school to get to where they are. You see oh boy, that's quick.
Ball on a string there for Makai Nelson. Deep three, a little bit short, cleaned up here from Smith Poe. He accelerates, head of steam, gets a triple team, little pump fake, a fly, partially blocked on the LaPlay three, but Smith Poe gets it, and his shot is deterred away. Diving on the floor, Illinois slithering all over the place again. They're in the blue. A little over 7 minutes gone here in the first half.
Looked like he stepped out. Wow, frantic pace. It's a lot of fun, though.
We'll get a sub coming in here for Michigan. That'll be Devin Lee. Devin Lee will be going to Sunrise Prep after graduating from Detroit Catholic Central. He is 6 foot 3 inches tall. Smith Poe, a big-bodied guard, using that strength, and he gets the soft touch. Poe with an early 6.
That's hard to guard, just that physicality.
17-9, shot blocked on the other end by Houston. And here comes Keyshawn Fisher the other way for Team Michigan. His shot blocked, another one for Terrence Smith.
If you take a shot off the dribble and you get it blocked, it means it was not a good idea, not a good shot.
Step into. Shot was short, and how about another rebound? LaPlay trying to get a double-figure rebounds before we hit the 10-minute mark. Goes in.
That's his strong suit. Just get to the rim, don't make it, rebound it, put it back in. You saw him shoot that three a little bit earlier. He hesitated a little bit. He actually is a really nice three-point shooter. He won, they had an All-American tournament, and he won the big man three-point shooting section of it.
Went to Goodrich High School in Goodrich, Michigan. The nickname of his high school?
Martians.
The Martians. How about that?
How about that?
I thought Indiana had all the good high school nicknames. No. Goodrich, Michigan has entered the chat. Well done by them. Free throw skips off. That is Josiah Harper for Illinois. Elijah Lovemore and Aramis Brown re-enter for the Land of Lincoln folks. Harper going to Georgia State. Ron Hunter, the former IUPUI head coach, was down at Georgia State for a while before moving over to Tulane. Thinking about it, Smith Poe pulls from the parking lot. Left or short, here comes Illinois the other way.
You mentioned Ron Hunter. Nobody will forget him coaching on that scooter.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
He hurt himself, but what a great little run they made.
His son hit that big shot, and it knocked him right off of his seat.
It was huge. Just a great Indiana basketball memory.
I'm sure your kids have knocked you off your chair once or twice, right?
They try.
Lovingly, of course, right?
Of course.
Stolen here by Michigan, but then Illinois takes it right back. They've got a little bit of a numbers advantage, a slither and a scoop, and it's 2 more in for Elijah Lovemore.
A lot of talent, that kid. Really nice player.
Be interesting to see where he ends up. Again, still undecided. 3 and swish. Keyshawn Fisher shot 38% from three-point range this year for Overtime Elite, and he gives Michigan their biggest lead of the day. An answer on the other end, however, and right down the hatch for Illinois, it's Makai Nelson.
Man, this is really, they're just starting to light it up. This is a lot of fun.
They have found their rhythm, and Nelson got into the air, intercepted it, and then came back down onto the baseline. And you can kind of see that little feeling out period, Brady, but now they're at the halfway point of the first half. They're clicking on all cylinders.
These offenses are smoothing out right about now.
Terrence Smith enters for Illinois. Michigan ball, fall away corner 3, no. Nelson amongst the trees, and the short man rips it down, 6 feet tall, accelerating to the other end, but his pass is tapped and intercepted by Devin Lee.
And that's going to be kind of a key to this thing, is watching these turnovers. You get that in all-star games, they're a little loose with the ball sometimes.
Nice pitch,
Great
Smith
finish.
Poe, and Fisher on the reverse.
I love that pass right there underneath the basket like that. It's a good cut, but great pass.
9-point lead for Michigan. Brown wants to dance off of 1 foot, and he got fouled by LaPlay. Brown 6'5". And there's the Nelson stop and pop 3. Thank you very much, and a good answer. And then here's that baseline cut again. And if you're new to Overtime Elite, if you kind of heard it in the vernacular, there are 2 different options you can do. You can either take the payment option, become a pro player, get paid about $100,000, but obviously you forfeit your eligibility, which is what the Thompson twins did. Then they went back-to-back top 5 picks, and they lit up the NBA playoffs this year for the Rockets and the Pistons, respectively. Or you can take the route that Fisher did, where you don't go through and get paid, but they really help you find a nice college landing spot, and he's coming back home to Detroit to play for Detroit Mercy. Yeah,
and with the NIL things that are changing, that you're going to have good but tough decisions to make like that.
Brown at the line. His first one is good. He's got 3 points. Fisher also reclassified himself at the end of 2024 after graduating from River Rogue High School, now into the class of 2025, and going back home to Detroit for Detroit Mercy. Pair of free throws right down the hatch there for Brown. He's up to 4. 6-point lead for Michigan. They've led by as many as 9. Back into the ball game, Portis.
Oh, great look.
Nice no-look dish. Reverse layup off the high window, Devin Lee.
Wow, he stayed in the air a long time for that one. What a great finish.
First hoop for Lee. Attack from the wing, open corner, Makai Nelson. Long. And here comes Michigan out on, and they run. Smith Poe attacks and finishes through contact.
Wow, everything has been exciting.
10-point lead for Michigan, their biggest here of the morning. Reverse layup, though, a quick answer on the other end by Terrence Smith.
Another cool double clutch type finish.
Smith Poe tried to dribble through traffic. Good hands there by Nelson. He's been pretty crafty here for Illinois in the first half.
I'm pretty sure that should be Michigan ball, as it may have come off the Illinois player's foot, but That's so hard to do. These officials, especially in a game like this, my gosh, you'd be worn out, I would think.
I'm worn out, and we're standing up here. we're not even down on the floor,
sweating.
and I'm out of breath. Yeah. 3-point try, no, and here comes
Watch
out
out
on the break, Michigan. And Keyshawn Fisher tried to put a highlight on social media, but not having any of that. Dante Montgomery. First trip to the line here for Michigan, as you can see, just the raw athleticism for Keyshawn Fisher.
Yeah, and you know the thing about Montgomery right there, that goes to show you these guys care. You know, you could have just let him go produce a highlight, but no, instead you go for the block. Wasn't anything dirty, but he's playing good, hard basketball.
The director of this wonderful event, Tony Leach, who we'll hear on these airwaves coming up for the three Indiana games, the 2 boys games, and then the 1 women's game or 1 girls game, sandwiched in between the 2 first-round games. That's what he's talking about. He said none of these games, maybe except for 1, have been decided by more than 10 points. He goes, these teams come out, they play defense, they want to win. There's a lot of bragging rights trying to represent your state here in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah, and you know, you get the guys that you've played against these guys probably a lot in statewide or out-of-state AAU tournaments and that type of thing. These guys are probably familiar with each other, so they don't want to lose.
3-point shot, no good for Montgomery. Brown tries from 2 off the heel. Trying to sweep it forward was Michigan, and it stays here with Illinois. Dancing. Elijah Lovemore, may I have this dance? Off to Smith, bully ball. He can't get the hard 2, but tapped up home by Montgomery.
Just getting a little full court pressure here. That's kind of interesting, but when you've only got 7 players, I'm not sure that's the best idea here in the first half.
Yeah, Illinois and Michigan only have 7 apiece. Now, as a drive and layup no good by Smith Poe, but he was fouled. Indiana, on the other hand, they have got a full roster of 14 guys, so they can press. You can do pretty much whatever you want. And, oh, by the way, they have 7 of the Indiana All-Stars representing them coming up later today.
Yeah, it's just a loaded team. They're going to be so fun to watch. Wisconsin's going to have their hands full for sure.
Smith Poe at the line, graduate from Detroit University Prep. He's got 8 and now 9. To lead the way here for Michigan as the folks from the Mitten trying to get their first double-figure lead of the day here, Brady. Today's game brought to you by the Ed Martin Automotive Group, who would like to congratulate Xavier Robinson of Lawrence North for being part of today's Midwest Challenge. When it comes to your next car, Ed Martin is the only name you need to know. Find out more at edmartin.com. Smith Poe makes both. He's our first player in double figures. He's got 10. Catch and shoot lefty 3. Beautifully done by Josiah Harper.
Having a good time watching him shoot those. Nice take here. Looks like a foul.
Second 3 of the morning for Harper. Foul on Aramis Brown or Montgomery. Looked like it was Brown who they're pointing at. A couple of freebies here for Armani Portis, who's going to Central State. Two 20-minute halves for our 2 boys games here today. Again, our second game of the day will be Indiana and Wisconsin. Portis splits the pair. He's got 3. Montgomery. Harper gives it back to him. Attacks, goes up. Houston challenges. Might have gotten a piece of it. Then as he tried to rip it away in one of his hands, but a big challenge there by Houston, who's really long.
He really is long, and he can jump so well. And that shows how effective he can be with his hands. He can block shots really well without fouling.
Gets lost there. Goes up, and he blocks the dunk from behind as Harper tried to flush. Stolen by Illinois.
Block another one?
3-on-1, no. Houston went for another swat, and he fouled the attacking Illinois player to the rack, who was Josiah Harper.
But you can tell he has there's no qualms about him going up and trying to block shots because he's such an effective shot blocker. And he blocks them with the left hand just as he does the right hand. He's going to be a good one.
We mentioned he's 6'6". That wingspan looks like it's knocking on the door of 7 feet. I mean, his arms just go on forever.
Yeah, he plays a lot bigger than he really is.
There's that block from behind. Harper's free throw's good. He's leading the way for Illinois with 9. Back to within 8, less than 6 to go. Oh, nice take on a tuck and roll by Fisher.
Man alive. These guys are so quick.
Spinning.
Uh-oh.
Losing his balance and holding on to that right ankle is Aramis Brown.
I hope he's okay. You hate to see that in these types of exhibitions and AAU-type tournaments and whatnot, because these kids have futures, and you know their college coaches don't want them out here playing in these things, but they're ballers. That's what they do. They play to win.
Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. 5:34 to go, first half. 7-point lead for Michigan over Illinois, 35-28.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Danny dreams fearlessly.
Because when you feel protected,
It's okay.
your family's free to pursue their dreams.
So are you brave?
I'm brave.
I'm fearless.
I'm fearless.
Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Back here at the beautiful Farmers Bank Fieldhouse, Lebanon, Indiana, here on the ISC Sports Network for the 7th annual Midwest Challenge. Rick Johnston, Brady Laurie with you. Our first game, if you're just joining us, Team Illinois in the blue, Team Michigan in the black. They've got the ball out of the timeout. Leading by 7 as Illinois goes to the full court press. Here's LaPlay. Trap on the sideline. Spinning on the baseline, Houston. Got cut off by Smith. Cross-court pass, Fisher. Head fake, blow by, crossover. He attacks and flushes.
He can shoot the three. He can put it on the floor. That's a tough player right there. And he's only going to get stronger.
14 for Fisher, leading our ball game here. Went for the steal. Couldn't get it on the back tap. Then he fights with his own teammates, same guys. And still Michigan coming away with the rebound, Smith-Poe. And now up to Fisher. Little 4-on-3.
You know, Illinois started to make that little run. There was a lineup change. Obviously, you see LaPlay out there right now. I think this is a pretty good little 5 right here to stretch that lead out a little bit more.
Nice read from Smith-Poe to intercept the pass. He goes, pulls up, glances off the side of the rim. And it's Illinois' Elijah Lovemore.
I don't know this to be true, but I'm betting the Smith-Poe kid plays football as well. He read that like a linebacker would.
3 doesn't drop. LaPlay getting close to that 10 rebound mark here in the first half with 4 to go. Stop and pop 3 ball. Nope. Another rebound for LaPlay. No, poked away. And here comes Illinois the other end in blue. Running layup doesn't go for Montgomery, but he got fouled to get 2 shots.
Rick, I'm going to ask you something.
Yes.
I don't know the answer to this. It appears that
And you
this
think
is,
I do?
Yes. You know everything.
No,
it
no.
appears that this is a running clock.
Yes, I just saw the clock start running again.
Well, I saw it stopped at one point on a free throw, and I don't know our scorekeeper down there or our clock, the guy that runs the clock, but I'm not sure if that we're supposed to stop it before. But it appears that it is a running clock, even on free throws, which is too bad because that takes away from more of our basketball watching minutes.
Montgomery knocks them both down. He's got 4. Smith-Poe is a blur with the ball. Can't get it to go. But there's Houston with a putback.
Houston doing Houston things, blocking shots, rebounding.
Houston undecided on where he's going yet. 6'6" with long arms, and he is going to make some college coach very happy to have on his team next year.
There are coaches salivating currently, I'm sure. You'd love to have a kid like that on your team.
Less than 3 to go in the first half. Michigan's led for pretty much the entire way. Oh, look at the ball. Cupped by Keyshawn Fisher, and he's got 16.
Bit of a Euro step.
First team All-State Division I pick after his senior year back in Detroit before going to Overtime Elite. Houston off the missed three-pointer. Snatch, and here comes Smith Poe. He can really fly. Look at the big man lob it up, and Fisher couldn't finish the alley-oop.
Yeah, it was a great pass. Just a little unfortunate they couldn't quite connect.
Smith Poe from Detroit University Prep, but he and Fisher have had a really nice chemistry here. Just couldn't finish off the oop. 11-point lead for Michigan, their biggest here of the day. Harper with Fisher defending into the corner. Smith, the three, no good. And Fisher trying to weave through Illinois defenders. Got through one. Here comes the help in Smith, and now he looks for an outlet. Smith Poe. Look at LaPlay with a big body move down low. Just couldn't get the finish.
And uncharacteristic that he wouldn't finish that. That's exactly what he likes to do. Get down there underneath that bucket.
We see Nelson back onto the floor for the first time. Tried to dish it into Smith. And guess who? Houston was there to challenge and force a miss. LaPlay, big man attacks. To the elbow, pivoting, falling away. And shot might have been partially blocked by Lovemore. Smith pushing the issue. Poked away and stolen by Smith Poe. He's got a numbers advantage. He goes right to the rack and lays it in.
Another good finish for Smith Poe. I'm a little surprised he didn't try that lob again with Fisher standing there, but he did the right thing. Anytime you score, it's the right thing.
A dozen for Smith Poe. Three-point attempt, too long from Lovemore. Smith angles and a nice reverse layup for Terrence Smith.
Two of those kind of reverse double clutches he's had tonight or today.
6 points for him. He'll be playing football at Iowa next fall.
I could see that.
Smith Poe dribbles, attacks, shot partially blocked out of bounds by Elijah Lovemore. We'll see Mark Zachary for Indiana coming up in our second game. He'll be playing football in college, so two guys that are still getting their last bit of their high school basketball careers here in the month of May. Final 30 seconds of the first half. Michigan leading by 11, and Keyshawn Fisher might try to take it himself. Smith out to defend. Dancing. Help defense comes from Nelson. Now a third defender. Fisher has it poked to the backcourt. He'll be able to pick it up with 10 and 9. Fisher's been a superstar here in the half. Eludes Nelson, goes right in for a circus layup that's too much. Here comes Illinois with three, with two. Waffle 1 foot, good if it goes, and it does! A running three for Elijah Lovemore.
What a tough shot. Just enough time to get off the shot off of 1 foot. That's impressive, folks.
Right down the hatch for Elijah Lovemore. He finishes the first half with 5 points, and we'll step aside. It's an 8-point lead at the break for Team Michigan against Team Illinois. First game of the 7th annual Midwest Challenge here on the ISC Sports Network.
I did not know what to expect, and it is amazing to see all like the different types of fragrances that you put together. Just when you put together like a few drops on a fan, and then what turns into the actual fragrance, it's amazing.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Danny dreams fearlessly.
Because when you feel protected,
It's okay.
your family's free to pursue their dreams.
So are you brave?
I'm brave.
I'm fearless.
I'm fearless.
Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Back here in Lebanon for the first game of the 2025 Midwest Challenge. At the break, it's the first boys game of the day. Team Michigan leading Team Illinois 43-35. And Rick and Brady here with you. And Brady, after a kind of a little bit of a slow start, which not surprising to see from these two teams, when those teams got comfortable, they were up and down the floor at a breakneck speed.
They really were, and they did a nice job of taking care of the basketball. You worry about that, like I said earlier, in all-star type of games. Maybe they'd be a little too loose with the basketball, but to be honest, these guys have played really cohesive basketball, and they've put on a show for us. It's been really nice.
Leading the way, 2 double-figure scores for Michigan, 29 points, 15 from Keyshawn Fisher, and 14 from Damanye Smith-Poe. It has been a big-time showing for those guys here today.
It really has. Smith-Poe has been real aggressive off the dribble. He's getting to the rim. He's getting good shots. And Keyshawn Fisher can just do it from anywhere. He'll hit threes. He's getting dunks. He's just a nice player.
Look at a guy that's going to Detroit Mercy. Coming up next year, going back home after spending time at Overtime Elite this past year. On the other side, for Illinois, they play pretty even distributed scoring with 4 guys having at least 6 points. Remember, they got down by 10, Brady, a couple of different times, double figures a couple of different times in that first half, but they were able to cut down the deficit pretty quick.
They don't give up. They're going to keep playing hard, and they do it on the defensive end, and that's what's been fun to watch. They get stops, and then they come down and get some buckets and get back into this game. There was a little substitution change at one point, and that helped Michigan kind of get back to business, but they're not going to give up. These are 2 good teams going at it hard.
We'll take a break, come back and take a look at some first half highlights here from the Farmers Bank Fieldhouse in Lebanon. 43-35, Michigan over Illinois here in the first game of the 2025 Midwest Challenge on ISC.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
First half highlights, plenty of 3-point shots, but this put-back slam got the scoring going early for Terrence Smith in Illinois. Again, 20-minute halves here in the first half. Nice off-ball come. We saw a lot of that in the first half for Michigan.
Yeah, good passing all the way around, really, today.
Fall away from Porter. Little step back, side 3. Josiah Harper, one of his 2 first half threes. He had 7 to lead the way. There's Smith-Poe.
Getting to the rim.
Nelson, a nice player off the bench. Rainbows into 3. Also is pretty pesky defensively as well. And here comes your first highlight from Keyshawn Foster.
Off a great pass from Smith-Poe.
And then look at the circus reverse layup. Devin Lee going to Sunrise Prep. And then Smith-Poe, an aggressive take. A big-bodied guard that can move really, really fast.
And they're, speaking of really, really fast, these guys for Illinois, the point guards are really quick. There's a good move into the lane to get a nice 3-point jumper. And there we go with the shot blocking we've seen. And there's Fisher with a nice emphatic dunk.
He had 15 in the first half. Goes in with the offhand and finished with the right.
He really caught heat right there during that stretch.
Smith-Poe had the 2-on-1, takes it right to the rack for that lefty finish. He had 14 to lead the way. And here's the highlight at the end, dribbling up, little pull-up before the end of the half. Elijah Lovemore, yes, sir.
You can tell Lovemore's a guy that spent a lot of time in the gym working on those jumpers because you don't usually practice that one-footed jumper, but I bet he does.
Lovemore had 6 in the first half. That was his only 3-point shot of the half. Again, Illinois in blue, Michigan in the black. Our first boys game of the day. Game 2 comes up at about 12:30. That'll be Wisconsin and Indiana. Then the girls game between Indiana and Illinois after that. And then we'll have the consolation game for the boys and the championship game for the boys coming up later this evening here from Lebanon.
Well, let's see what Keyshawn Fisher's got this half. He's a guy that would only average about 11 points a game at Overtime Elite, but you got to think about the kind of competition he's playing against for that school. So this is a good tester for him. He's already put up 14. I expect him to continue to be aggressive offensively as well as Smith-Poe.
It'll be Illinois ball to start. They will in the blue, and Elijah Lovemore had the highlight to end that first half. Will inbound it here for the folks from Illinois. Smith floating it back to the far side, and Montgomery. Try to go backside to Smith, and he catches and finishes.
Good strong finish right there. Good way to start the half.
Knocked out of bounds. Smith-Poe is Lovemore there to defend. Inbound here from Michigan in the corner. Catch and shoot 3. Rattling it home, Armani Portis. So Portis up to 9, his second triple. Slicing his way, no good, but there to finish it up is Smith on the miss from Harper.
Well, that's 2 rebound buckets already. Michigan's going to want to keep a better eye on blocking out, keeping these guys off the rim with getting second shots.
Smith-Poe asked to dance, goes up, his shot recycled, and Illinois out on the break with Terrence Smith. He'll go wall to wall, tried to flush it over Keyshawn Fisher, but then threw it down too aggressively.
I like the aggressive nature of that, though. These guys, Illinois is really coming out of the gate strong.
Fisher, little shake, little pull up, and 2 more. 17 for Keyshawn Fisher. Trying to answer the other end, rattling it home, Elijah Lovemore.
These guys are really falling into place right now. They're getting comfortable, you can tell, offensively.
Illinois got it to within 2 possessions, but Houston powers in for another deuce.
Using that wingspan. He likes to hang around that rim.
Multiple blocks in that first half for Houston. That's his second bucket. Montgomery tight-roping the baseline, pulls up. Shot no good on the attempt from Brown. Smith-Poe at double figures in the first half, bouncing it in. Houston got fouled on the way there by Josiah Harper.
Smith-Poe with a real nice look right there. That's a narrow little window he stuck that in there.
Houston's 6'6". First one skips off. Again, undecided about where he's going, but he is going to be a guy to keep your eye on. He has got some talent, and like you mentioned in the first half, Brady, he has got some size and some ability to put on a lot of extra weight and muscle.
Well, sure, and you'll get stronger. When you go to college, you just can't help it because these coaches and these trainers and the weight and conditioning coaches, they work you, and these guys are going to see more weight room time than they've ever seen in their lives.
There's a guy for Wisconsin we'll talk about in our second game who's added 80 pounds or 50 pounds in high school of just straight muscle from freshman to senior year. So if you can do that in high school, you can definitely do it in college, as slithering to the rim Fisher is going to be really good for the Detroit Titans coming up in a couple of months.
I mean, we got to remember these kids are 18 years old. They're not completely physically mature yet. They've got a lot of ways to strengthen themselves and get more power as they progress in their college careers.
Fisher on the rejection. And now Smith-Poe. Quick as a hiccup, man. This guy can really fly into the corner. Portis 3, no. Weak side rebound tapped and corralled by Illinois.
Good look there, Portis. Just kind of laid back a little bit, and when you start to fade on three-point shots, they're likely to land short.
Smith, 6'3", lost it out of bounds, but last touched by Michigan as both teams get some subs in. Again, Illinois in the blue, Michigan in the black. It's been pretty much all Michigan here to start, but every time they get close of getting that lead north of 12, Illinois comes back and snaps it down to about 5 or 8. Fall away 3, short from the far side. Smith-Poe bouncing down. Portis was wide open, and then Harper came out of nowhere but got too much of the wrist, it looked
He really
like.
did. Smith-Poe had another great pass right there. He really distributes the ball nicely. Got a good look. He just didn't see him behind him there and came through with the block.
Armani Portis, 6'3", 9 points, graduate of De La Salle High School, and going to Central State. And he's the second Michigan player into double figures. He'll make them both. He's got a pretty sweet stroke. He's knocked down a couple of threes here so far today. Winner plays in the championship game coming up tonight at about 5 or 5:30. That'll be our final game of the evening. Loser will play in the consolation game. Their opponent to be determined with Wisconsin and Indiana locking up here on this court coming up at about 12:30.
That should be a battle. That's going to be a lot of fun. I hope this gym's full by then. Right now we've got a good crowd, but not quite what it's going to be like when Indiana's out here.
Illinois ball. Here's Makai Nelson. Slithers in, accelerates, no good. Trying to dunk it with one hand was his Illinois teammate Kingston Caldwell. Smith-Poe, free throw line, shot deterred, and another block there for Josiah Harper. Here comes Illinois. Harper tried to throw it down and got fouled.
Oh, I love it. Just take it down the lane and bang it. Why not? He's gotten he's doing shot blocking down there. He'll come down here and get some dunks, but this is a nice take. Obviously, nobody's taking a charge on that. Just pin it on the rim just a little bit.
6'7" high flyer going to Georgia State. He's got 8 points. And now 9. Tried to go up and dunk that with the offhand there for the lefty from the line. Michigan's lead down to 11 with some backcourt pressure here from Illinois. Houston, skip pass, almost intercepted by Harper. No look dish, nobody home, and LaPlay with his easiest hoop here of the afternoon.
You got to kind of stay committed on defense and not get lost out there. If you try to get steals, you might get out of place, and that's kind of what happened there. And LaPlay got a nice, easy bucket.
Portis tied up with Kingston Caldwell underneath the basket. See the replay right there, and see Caldwell kind of was ready to go out and run, and arms thrown in the air, and couldn't get anywhere.
Lock arm.
Illinois ball. This is Montgomery. Going against Keyshawn Fisher. Nelson with a little bit of a mismatch here against LaPlay. Off to Montgomery. Stop and pop. 3 down the hatch for Illinois.
Looked like he might have got tapped out there, too. I think he may have wanted a foul, but still nice way to finish that three-point play.
First triple for Montgomery. He's up to 5. Smith-Poe, the head of steam, threw it wildly and couldn't connect with Houston. No-look dish in and out of the hands of Montgomery after Harper tried for the highlight pass. Montgomery backs out, and you know threes are worth more than twos.
He knows what he's doing.
Another triple for Montgomery he's up to 8 points. 13 and a half to go here in the second. 7-point lead down for Michigan. Fisher attacks, and that is a pretty two.
Well, he's got the ability to knock down that three out there, and he can get people off balance. Faked a little pass there, got right to the rim.
21 for Fisher, lead back to 9 for Michigan. Lovemore. Good to see Aramis Brown back out here after rolling his ankle, it looked like, back in the first half. Big time spin move hard in there by Kingston Caldwell. And Caldwell looks like he's going to be called for the foul. Might have been coming in there a little bit high with the elbow as he got Smith Poe up high.
Well, he did catch him in the mouth. I don't think that was anything intentional or anything like that. And to be honest, I mean, he didn't really gain any advantage. It's the same situation. It's just unfortunate that Smith Poe's mouth got in the way of his elbow.
Loss in the backcourt. Smith Poe trying to get it, and now Nelson a little bit slow to get back up for Illinois. Houston took his eyes off it, diving on the floor. Caldwell, Illinois trying to keep it here. And right before they lost the possession, timeout is called here by Illinois. They trail by 9, 59-50 to Team Michigan with 12:47 left to go in the second half. You're watching the 7th annual Midwest Challenge here on the ISC Sports Network.
I did not know what to expect, and it is amazing to see all like the different types of fragrances that you put together. Just when you put together like a few drops on a fan, and then what turns into the actual fragrance, it's amazing.
Back here at the Farmers Bank Fieldhouse in Lebanon, Indiana, Team Michigan in the black taking on Team Illinois in the blue. It'll be Illinois ball. They trail 59-50. We talked about Tyrese Halliburton earlier. Well, his father, John, has made his way here. You can see him right there on the backside of your screen, dapping some folks up in the white Indy Pacers City t-shirt.
Well, the question would be then, is he going to root for the Wisconsin team or the Indiana team?
He is wearing the shirt that says Indy.
Let's go with that then.
I'm going to go with what it says on the shirt. So he's here trying to get a good seat. This is Dante Montgomery at the line for Illinois. 8 points for him, and now 9. Brady, the other cool thing about this event, there's also a AAU tournament going on for a lot of youngsters, about ages 9 to about 13 or 14. And when their games are done, they're just making their way over, and they're going to sit down and like, oh, we got more basketball. The big guys are playing. They're going to come watch and see what the future college stars are putting on here.
They're trickling in as these games. There's 7 other courts here, and as these games wind down, I bet you we're going to see a lot of kids sneaking in here to watch these fellas.
Wouldn't be the first time a kid tried to sneak in to watch a basketball game. Houston on the backside lays it in. Remember, 20-minute halves here for the Midwest Challenge. Shot was altered again by Houston. That's his 4th or 5th block here of the game.
He is special. Goodness sakes. There's going to be coaches all over him after this.
Again, an undecided player. Smith Poe goes in off the window for 2.
Nice left. He's just good at everything. When he gets toward that rim, he can finish. He can pass it.
Shot no good on the other end. This is Fisher. Lob it up. Houston couldn't guide it home, but Fisher's there for the cleanup.
I'm glad he did get that rebound and finish that because his pass was a little bit off.
Trying to go back. Fisher got it, but it might have got it off the window. It'll be an offensive goaltending. And 2 points on the board for Illinois.
These little fellas that were playing in this AAU tournament are loving watching these guys fly around and block shots off the rim and stuff. Good motivator. Hopefully they'll go home and work in the driveway and keep playing hard in AAU, and they'll be out here someday.
Devin Lee enters for Michigan, and he'll inbound it in the backcourt for those from the mitten. Full court press put on here by Illinois.
Not sure what we got going on here, Rick, to be honest.
So they're asking Devin Lee to tuck his jersey in.
Oh, that's a thing.
A little bit. But the whole first half, every guy played with his jersey untucked.
Rules are rules, I always say.
Smith-Poe in the backcourt. Montgomery hounding him. Now Smith-Poe hits that accelerator, goes in, unabated for two.
Yeah, and that I kind of mentioned it in the first half about Illinois trying to press these guys. That's just going to speed the game up, which I think is more advantageous to Michigan. They've got more players, and they're really good at up-tempo ball like you're just seeing.
Lee takes the long pass, couldn't finish. Tie up underneath.
LaPlay wanted a rebound that somebody else already had. That guy loves to rebound. Indy's going to be a great fit for him, too.
Broke his high school's all-time scoring record this season.
Sorry, I misspoke.
No.
University of Indianapolis. Oh, it is. I did that right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, shoot. With IU Indy now,
Yes.
I feel like I goof that up from time to time. But, yeah, University of Indianapolis.
Well, there's been a lot of note cards around my house reminding me IU Indianapolis and University of Indianapolis, and trying to decipher the two and make sure you have the right one. Which, and it doesn't help when Paul Casaro goes from UIndy to IU Indy, so that kind of confused a little bit for people as well. For LaPlay, broke a 26-year record, his all-time scoring record at his high school, set back in 1999. Has brother on the team as well, who was a sophomore. Big brother gets fouled underneath. One of the two-shot trip to the line. Instead, with 10:04 to go here in regulation, it'll be an inbound for Michigan. They're in the black, Illinois in the blue. Michigan up by 15. Portis from mid-range, no. And Lovemore off the ground.
I already mentioned Portis in that little fadeaway. When he goes toward the basket or straight up, he's a great shooter. When he's fading away, he ends up short.
Montgomery air ball. The little guys have Lovemore landing in their laps as he tried to save it. Coming back to steal that one is Brown. He finds Lovemore in the corner. Step back three, short. Cleaned up by Lee. Lee pushing the issue. Finds Fisher trailing. He'll back it out here. Getting defended by Dante Montgomery. Montgomery went for the steal, poked it away, but couldn't gather it in. Fisher regroups, drives, got his arm tugged. It'll be free throws
he got
for
his
him.
left arm pulled down, so he just switched it over and shot it with his right arm. That's how athletic this kid is. He's special. He's got to tuck in his britches too, I guess. Tuck it in, fellas. Portis will be the next one to get.
I feel like I need to tuck my shirt in now too. I came in untucked, and now I feel underdressed.
We don't want to get in trouble.
No, definitely not.
It cracks me up. The guys will check into the games now with their stuff still on and no shirt hanging out, and then you got to watch them tuck it in while they're walking on the court. It's epidemic everywhere.
Well, how about Buddy Hield a couple of nights ago for the Warriors? Came in wearing the wrong shorts. didn't put on the game shorts, still had the other shorts on, and a technical foul was issued to Golden State as Fisher gets a swat. Smith-Poe, long two, perfectly done. Nice shot.
He is having a really nice game all the way around.
Smith-Poe, the second Michigan player with 20. Lead up to 17, the biggest it's been here all night or all day for Michigan.
All right.
Nelson couldn't connect. Rebound stays with Illinois. A bluff, a pull-up. Harper, short. Gets his own miss. Cut off. Short again.
Wow, keep getting offensive rebounds, but Illinois is kind of making their own mess here. When they started pressing and the game got a little quicker, I think just Michigan's just better at that type of game. Then you get down, and then you're coming down here, and you just got to start jacking threes to try to get back in it. This game's going Michigan's direction easily.
Lee
Tough shot.
hit a three in the corner and got taken down to boot. First three of the afternoon for Devin Lee. And a timeout for Illinois as Michigan's opened up a 20-point lead as you get a look at the corner three ball from Lee.
Might have tried to get a whistle there, but not much there.
8 minutes left to go here in the second half. We'll take a break, come back with more from the Farmers Bank Fieldhouse in Lebanon on the ISC Sports Network.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query,
And I'm Derek Schultz.
and we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts,
Hard to believe
Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Today's game brought to you by Lawrence Township Schools, voted Indy's best public schools. The Metropolitan School District of Lawrence Township is your district of destination. With a commitment to excellence, innovation, and opportunity, LT empowers every student to reach their full potential on the path to graduation, college, and career. Whether you're new to the area or exploring the best for your child's future, discover what makes Lawrence Township the place where education leads to success. Learn more at ltschools.org. And congratulations to Xavier Robinson of Lawrence North for participating in today's games. We'll see him coming up here soon. Right there, Devin Lee hit the 3 before the timeout and gets a layup there for he's got 5 in a row. All Michigan here, and a hold will go against Demonier Smith-Poe, who's been a real force here today for Michigan.
He really has. It's been fun to watch him, and gosh, the kid, he's got a bright future for sure.
Illinois to inbound. Montgomery gets fouled as Keyshawn Fisher fouled him after going over the top on him. Lovemore can it in, walking that tightrope underneath, and a reverse jam for Josiah Harper.
Oh, my goodness. That was amazing.
Harper up to 11. He just pounced right up and flushed it.
I was expecting a little layback, and no, I got to remember how athletic these guys are. That was great.
Fisher draws 2. One-hand whip, and he sends it off the wall.
His college coach will require that he not throw one-handed passes, I'm certain. This was a great finish right here.
Here's Harper, and just let me get it over the rim. 6'7" will do that for you.
Just from no real step into it or anything. Talent.
Nelson pull up no good, and if it's not LaPlay getting the rebounds, it's Houston for Michigan. Lee cut off on the way there by Harper. Nelson knocks it into the backcourt as he goes against the much taller Fisher. Nelson giving up 6 inches to Keyshawn Fisher.
Wow, that was interesting there. It's like Nelson can anticipate what he's going to do before he does it. He did that a few plays ago. He jumped out there. He saw that crossover coming and got in the middle of it. On that one, he did the same kind of thing, and it looked like Fisher almost kind of hooked him to keep him from taking the ball from him. So that kid, he may give up some size, but what he lacks in size, he makes up for in quickness and anticipation.
24 now for Keyshawn Fisher. And now 25 to lead the way in our ball game here today. Lovemore fouled, and he'll get 3 free throws as Elijah Lovemore. Pretty good with that step back 3. As you mentioned, he also had the 3 to end the first half, run off of 1 foot.
Yep. You can tell he's not afraid to shoot it, and he's obviously worked at it really hard. Good shooter, good player. Hopefully knock down all 3. Oh, they need every point they can get, Rick, because the thing is, and I've seen this happen in these types of games, exhibitions and all-star games, if they start stretching this lead out a little bit, the basketball becomes looser and it becomes a lot of dunks, which everybody in here will love to see. But I like good quality basketball, screening, cutting, passing. I sound like get off my lawn guy, the old fella. But, you know, if they don't start amassing some points here in the next 5 minutes or so, Michigan stretches this out, this game could get really loose, which, again, folks love to see fast breaks and dunks, so that's what they pay the money to come in here to watch for.
It's been the one time today we haven't seen Illinois able to claw their way back in after falling behind those 12 or 15 points.
I don't know who mentioned when Portis fades, he often comes up short.
Smith behind the back and a flush.
There's a dunk.
10 for Terrence Smith.
PA guy said, watch your head.
Going to play football for the Hawkeyes in Illinois next year. Offensive rebound for Lee, swings it out. Portis sets his feet, fires, off target to the left, but a follow couldn't go for Fisher. And now Illinois out and running here with Aramis Brown. More on the catch. And a tough 2 in there for Elijah Lovemore. He's got 10. Quick 6-0 run here for Illinois. Houston baseline. Might have been blocked on the way there. Tapped around, and Illinois gets another defensive stop. Less than 5 to go here. Lovemore, stop and pop 3. Off the front of the rim, and Lee gets the one-and-done catch. Smith-Poe lobs it up, and Houston couldn't flush. But Portis gives it back to him. Off the window, no. Third time, no. And Lovemore able to save it in. Brown skips in. Tough 2, no. Cleaning up Caldwell.
Good follow-up and finish there. I'm watching Brown. I've been watching him the last few possessions. When he shot that air ball from the three-point line, I felt like he did not get much lift at all, and when he rolled that ankle in the first part of the game, I have a feeling he's favoring that a little bit, and I was watching him run up and down. I think that's probably the thing.
We'll step aside. 4:20 left to go here in the second half. A 6-0 run here for Team Illinois in the blue. As you see Caldwell cleaning it up, they trail by 14. It was 76-54, 8-0 run for Illinois in the blue. Michigan in the black in our first game of the 2025 Midwest Challenge. Michigan, Illinois, then Wisconsin, Indiana next. Girls teams from Indiana and Illinois for our third game, and then the consolation and championship games on the boys' side to follow. Caldwell trying to strip it out of the hands of the driving Fisher. And the future Detroit Titan will get a couple of free throws here with the clock stopped at 4:12.
Well, he's awfully active, isn't he? He's really fun to watch. And I got to tell you, I kind of like the music in the PA. It's just a little bit different.
I wonder if the other good thing it does, too, is it kind of drowns out the other horns and whistles and everything else, so you can kind of focus on what you've got going on on your floor right here.
Yeah, that's a really great observation, because I was worried about that when we started this game with these 7 other games going on. You hear shoes squeaking and whistles and all that kind of stuff, but it has not been an issue for us.
Lovemore snaps it back. Boogies with Portis. Screen and roll over 3 defenders. Too strong on the attempt there for Terrence Smith.
Good effort. Just got to finish. Got to get back in this thing.
Last 4 minutes here of the second half. Michigan with the ball. Those 2 free throws from Fisher stop the 8-0 Illinois run. Houston.
He's got some pretty good handles for a guy 6'6" with 7-foot wingspan.
On the baseline, banging, spinning, glassing it home. A tough 2 in there for Michigan's Parker LaPlay.
Good to see him get one. He was real active early in the game.
He'll be coming back to Indiana probably in a couple of weeks to start summer school at the University of Indianapolis. Brown steps in, his 3 short, and guess what? Another rebound for LaPlay. He's in double-figure boards. Had that back in the first half.
LaPlay gets that rebound because Poe blocked out so well.
And then Smith-Poe blurs his way to the rim for 22.
I can't even make a good point about the guy on one end because he's already laying it in on the other.
He is super fast. That first step is electric. Nelson with the ball on a string goes up.
Watch
Fisher
out.
came in, tried to delete it. And as Nelson went in, he got fouled hard on the take there. It looked to be like Armani Portis, who got him on the body.
He did. He got all ball up top, that's for sure, but just caught enough of him. And it's, the guy's jumping and running as fast as he can. it looked probably worse than it actually is, but good effort on both players' parts.
Makai Nelson, 6 feet tall, out of Proviso West High School. Now got 6 points with one more free throw to come. Also undecided about where he'll be playing his college ball next year, but he's going against a lot of taller players today, but that foot speed has really evened things out for him.
Yeah, and I researched him a little bit. You know, 6 foot, I'm not sure he's quite there, but so maybe the height is kind of what is delaying this decision. You know, he wants to go to a place that maybe thinks he might be too small, but when you see that kind of effort out of this kid, I think he could play anywhere.
Well, he's gone against the 6'6" Keyshawn Fisher multiple times and hasn't batted an eye.
Right.
Smith Poe can't convert. Here comes Montgomery running for Illinois. No-look swing, almost threw it into the really good seats. And now wanting to dance is Josiah Harper. His pass intercepted by Portis, and here comes Michigan the other way with 2:20, and they lead by 18. But then stolen. 3 on none. Go up for a windmill two-hand dunk, Terrence Smith.
Oh, the AAU kids are loving that.
Looking like Brady Laurie back in the day.
Oh, my goodness.
Smith Poe in the corner. Final 2 minutes here of the second half. Again, Michigan's been leading the majority of the way, and they've been had a little bit better breathing room here in the last couple of minutes after stretching their lead out to 20. Scooping Fisher off the window. 29 for him to lead the way.
We're about to get what I was fearing. I think Illinois is going to start shooting threes. There are going to be some long rebounds. There's going to be a lot of people out running. Entertaining for the crowd, though.
Harper had a sweet reverse dunk on the baseline. Another goes right through the whole defense, but can't finger roll it home. And LaPlay with the miss. 80 seconds left to go. Portis finds the cutting Fisher for a flush on the baseline.
Had a feeling that would go down easy.
Montgomery trying to shake away from Houston. Out for a Harper catch and shoot three that was short. And now Smith Poe in the final minute here goes in for a big dunk that threw it off the back of the rim. Nelson there to challenge.
Yep, we're getting the guys not getting back. Everybody wants to make a highlight now. But it's been a really good show today.
Montgomery off a 1 foot no. Harper, yes. 13 for Harper to pace Team Illinois today. Portis fires. Halfway down, out, and then down again.
He didn't fade on that one.
He's got 14. Brown trying to answer no. Tapped out to him. LaPlay, though, says, I want another rebound, so I will put my nose in there and snag it.
That's awesome. I love the effort. Any kid that loves rebounding like that.
Fisher looks at the bench, and his coach will tell him just to sit on it.
Or will he?
With 1 second left, and it won't count, but he'll still try to do the East Bay dunk unsuccessfully. But Keyshawn Fisher and Michigan pick up a 21-point win today by a final of 89-68.
Yeah, that's good. Fisher wanted to give the crowd what they wanted, but the smart and sportsman-like thing to do is just to dribble it out there.
Let's take a look at our blue-collar player of the game presented by Boilermakers Local 374, and we'll give it today to Michigan's Demonier Smith Poe. Finishes with 22 points, but he also was almost close to a double-double with 10 assists, had a bunch of rebounds as well. He was really fun to watch orchestrating things for Michigan today. 6-foot graduate from the Detroit University Prep. Really, really fast. You see a lot of aggressive drives here, and 22 for Smith Poe, one of 2 20-point scores today for the folks from Michigan. Again, our player of the game brought to you by the folks at Boilermakers Local 374. Become a Union Boilermaker and be on your way to a great career. Find out more when you log on to local374.org. Brady, it was a tight game early on, and then just Michigan able to stretch that thing out to 20 about halfway point of the second half, and they kept it at that pretty much till the end, till the finish line.
Yeah, and it wasn't a question of effort on Illinois' part. They were down a few men to Michigan. Michigan had basically a full roster. It's one of those things that kind of over the course of time that will add up, and you can get yourself into a situation where you can lose a game, but if you had your full squad, a game you might win or stay in. So wasn't a question of effort on either side, though.
So Michigan on to the championship game to round out our day today. Illinois will play in the consolation game coming up after the Illinois and Indiana girls game at about 2:30. Our second game, though, the home team, Team Indiana, taking on Team Wisconsin. That'll come up a little bit after 12:30. For Brady Laurie, our analyst today, our director, Charlie Hamrick, our camera operator, Elijah Mash, my name is Rick Johnston. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first of 5 games of the 2025 Midwest Challenge here from Farmers Bank Fieldhouse in Lebanon, Indiana on the ISC Sports Network. We'll talk to you for Wisconsin and Indiana coming up in about 15 minutes.